Hey guys, it's me, Sujoy over here. I'm back with another video. So, on this video, I'm going to be talking about top 5 reasons why you should move to India. Okay, so top 5 reasons why you should move to India. So, I'm just enjoying a bit of my Nescafe. Right, so I thought of making this video. I've done a bit of research. And firstly, if you're new to my channel, the name of my channel is called as Sujo in Vietnam. I've been living in Vietnam for over 5 years now. I was an English teacher for 3.5 years, and now I run a successful online digital marketing business. And I'm also a full-time YouTuber. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Okay. Right. So I'm right now here in India on a short trip, visiting my father who's come from the States. And, I did a bit of research and I thought of taking this time to talk about, why you should actually move to India. Okay. So this video is primarily catered for foreigners, okay, who would like to look into the option of relocating to India, either for starting up a business or relocating, retirement. Yeah, it's a bit noisy outside. This is the afternoon time, so it's kind of a bit peak rush hour. So forgive me if it's a bit noisy. It's kind of usual out here in India. The same actually also goes for Vietnam in general. Okay, so I'm gonna have listed down the points. So firstly, I want to talk about affordability. Okay, so it's very affordable over here, like unlike in the West or in Europe, or in other Asian countries like South Korea, Japan, or Singapore, where it's kind of expensive. India is very affordable when it comes to food. There are a lot of different Indian food. I'm going to talk about that, and it's very delicious. I love Indian food. And transportation. You do have Uber over here, the Uber app. Um, you don't have the Grab app. You don't have Grab out here, although I think you may have Grab in New Delhi, if I'm not quite sure. But mainly over here in India, people use Uber. So you can download the Uber app, and you can just ride hail a cab at a very affordable cost. Housing. You can rent an Airbnb over here in India if you want to stay over here for a month or longer at a very affordable cost. Even the hotels, like the quality of the hotels, it's definitely nice. You do have a lot of Oyo hotels and a lot of different hotels. So yeah, I mean, so if you can book with Airbnb, you can rent an apartment, studio apartment here in India at a very affordable cost. I don't want to get down with the details because like I said, my main purpose of making this video is just to highlight the points. Um, then let's talk about the thriving. The second point which I would like to talk about would be the thriving business opportunities here in India. So you know that India is like one of the fastest growing economies in the world. I think it's got the third largest economy in the world. The GDP is, I think, around 7.5% per year. So a lot of business happens in India. Like there are a lot of rich people over here in India. It's very common to see luxurious cars. I mean, Mercedes, BMW, they're like old schools over here in India, but like, a lot of Indians, you would find a lot of rich Indians, they're like driving luxurious sports cars like Lambos, Ferraris, McLaren. So a lot of business happens, so a lot of business opportunities, a lot of startups. So yeah, a lot of thriving business opportunities. Like it's very easy over here to network in India with like-minded individuals. Say for example, you found it very expensive to have a startup in your home country, back in the States or in Europe, or in your home country, you should definitely look into the option of having a startup out here in India, because the startup cost is not very high. It's very low. It's not very it's registering a business here in India is not very difficult. Okay, so you don't have to deal a lot of paperwork, like unlike in other countries. Like, I mean, I can talk about in Vietnam, where if you want to have a startup company, a physical startup company, you have to supply a lot of documents. The red tape papers. You could do a lot of legal work, and gets very complicated and all that. So it's not the case over here. The road to having a startup company here in India is not very difficult. But I believe you may have to partner up with a local Indian person over here if you like to have a startup. So I don't know what's the detail about that. So if somebody can actually come up with a video regarding having how to start up a business over here in India, how foreigners can have a startup out here in India, so that would be nice. So yeah, it's very easy to network. Majority of the young Indians over here, usually are kind of entrepreneur. They have the entrepreneur mindset. So like, especially, if you see like Indians, who are in their 30s or in their 40s, they usually have a very entrepreneur mindset, or they do have plans to have a startup or something. So you can connect with a lot of like-minded people over here. You can join like Facebook groups over here. Like, you have the startup Facebook groups for India. I believe you can do it with Craigslist or other forums. So you can connect with very much like-minded people. So you can definitely get all the paperwork done prior before you come to India and set up your business over here. The third point which I want to talk about would be, see, we always, which I would like to talk about would be that the digital nomad. Okay, the digital nomad hub. So by 2024 to 2025, it is expected that India would be one of the leading digital nomad destinations for foreign travelers. Now, majority of the foreigners, they always feel like, okay, Thailand should be the Thailand, or Indonesia, Bali. Bali's actually turned out to be very expensive, and that's the reason why, like a lot of digital nomads, they're planning to relocate their bases from Bali, from Indonesia, to other locations, Vietnam. But it's not much talked about here in India. Now, what I can see is that India is going to be one of the leading digital nomad hubs for the whole world globally. I wouldn't be surprised that a year down the line, majority of the foreigners, they would feel like, okay, India has got a couple of cool places where you can work there as a digital nomad. You can, if you're running a freelance business, or if you're providing digital nomad services. So let me just elaborate this point. Firstly, if you're a digital nomad and you like to set up your base where you like to be living by the beach, there's so many beautiful destinations over here in India. You can check out Goa. Of course, Goa is kind of old school right now because there are so many foreigners who go to Goa. But one of the upcoming destinations which is really coming up hot right now in India is the Lakshadweep Islands. Okay, I repeat, Lakshadweep Islands. This is going to be one of the biggest digital nomad hubs, according to me, because if they are going to be planning to set up a lot of hotels, resorts, bars, coffee shops, because majority of the digital nomads, they like to work in coffee shops. Like in Vietnam, if you go to Da Nang City, or if you go to Da Nang, which is one of the favorite destination for many Indians to go to Vietnam. It's a beachside, or in Pattaya, like a lot of beaches. You can rent an apartment, a studio apartment over there for $300 to $350. So I think India is catching up with this right now. So I wouldn't be surprised And these places are extremely very beautiful, like coral reefs. And especially when I'm talking about the Lakshadweep Islands, it's absolutely uncharted. It's very beautiful coral reefs. It's just a sight to see. And of course, there's so many other cities in India, like major cities, like you go to Bangalore, you can go to Mumbai, and also a city like Pune. Okay, it's close to Mumbai, but this is where like you have a lot of digital nomad opportunities. So I would love to see this come up, like within a year or two. Um, and speaking of the digital nomad, okay, I would like to come to the next point, which would be the visa, right? So now, unlike other Southeast Asian countries, now I'm going to be taking an example of Vietnam, where of course, in Vietnam, unfortunately, they still don't have the digital nomad visa, and I don't know about the digital nomad visa policy in Thailand, but India does provide a 5-year multiple entry visa for foreigners who want to come over here. And even if you're a digital nomad, or if you want to travel over here, and so I believe the 5-year visa multiple entry is, you can stay in India um, for a period of 90 days, 2 times per year, and then you need to exit. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a link of that down in the description below. See, having a long-term visa, especially if you're a digital nomad, is very vital and crucial. Say, for example, you always have something to fall back on. So, say, for example, if you need to exit Vietnam or if you need to exit Thailand, you can always set up your base over here in India, and you can travel. Like there's so many international destinations from India. Like you can go to Europe. You can hop onto a flight and goes directly to Europe. You don't need to have a lot of transit flights. So of course, in an international hub, you can travel to Thailand from India. It would take around, I think, 4 hours tops, or I think 3.5 hours. And you can travel to other locations. So you can go to Sri Lanka. You can, you can go to the Middle East, and you can go to Dubai. I believe it's just like a 2 hours flight or 3 hours flight or something. So it's pretty centrally geographically located. And of course, India is a very big country. There's so many different cities. They have international routes, many international airports here in India. So it makes sense, that having your base over here in India, especially with the 5-year visa. I don't know if India offers the digital nomad visa, because I'm not very well acquainted with that. But for the 5-year visa, I'm going to keep a link down in the description below. You can check it up. So yeah, so watch out for that. And finally, the fifth point would be the food and the cuisine. Okay, especially if you love, I'm not only talking about Indian food. Of course, I love Indian food. I love butter chicken, chicken curry, and there's so many Indian restaurants over here. And of course, you can try authentic Indian food. Not very expensive compared to the Indian restaurants which you have outside India, or in America and all those other locations where it's very expensive. So yeah, food and everything. I try a lot of Indian cuisines. Not only that, there are a lot of malls here in India which are as per international standards. You have McDonald's, you have Burger King, you have Taco Bell. I believe you got Papa John's, KFC. It's very easy to find. Okay, so you got a lot of Western American brands. You got Chanel, you got Gucci, everything you got. Okay, so you got Uniqlo, everything is out here. So a lot of malls over here in India. So I see a lot of malls popping up out here in India, especially close to my home. There's a five-star mall, and of course, a lot of food, cuisines. So every location, in every different city in India has got different food cuisines and speciality. But rest assured, you'll be easily finding McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and everything. a lot of Western food outlets. So it's not going to be very difficult for you to find. Yeah. So yeah, and of course, finally, I just want to add is that people in general, like if you're a foreigner, people in general are very helpful. They're very friendly. Indian people are usually very friendly, and so just think about it, and I think it's um, worth checking out. Relocating yourself and moving to India. This 2024. So yeah, these are my top 5 reasons why you should move to India. So if you like watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to earn passive income online and start a successful online business, you can check out my income stream website down in the description below. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. This is me, Joy. Peace out.